Mick Chronin did something I have never seen done in sports. He threw his own player out of the game. What? After a hard foul, but obviously not a flagrant or a malicious or an angry or an evil foul. Mick Cronin decided that it was the proper idea to eject his own player, come screaming onto the floor after the whistle blows, and points towards the locker room and says, "Go." And it's like, oh, whoa. They were down by 20. UCLA is a bit of a storied franchise, but it is a struggling franchise for sure. And it is just kind of franchise program, potato tomato. They've been struggling, even with the best point guard in the country, Donovan Dent. They have had some ups and downs. I've got to go off pure ball knowledge here because my computer ain't working. Good googly moogly. I understand the frustration and the emotions and having a strong feeling about something that in the moment looked pretty bad, and then when you look at the replay and you look at it over again, it's not a big deal. He also got into a confrontation with a reporter when he was asked about something about like a student section. He's like, "I don't give a rip about this damn student section, blah blah blah. You're like, why are you raising your voice at me? Like, we're all like, it's very, I don't know. It kind of seems like a man grasping at straws, in my opinion. But you know what? I am no legal expert. I have no idea what I'm talking about. But let's be honest here. Mick Cronin was probably in the wrong. Was it probably like a burst of passion? Sure. Is he still probably a very good basketball coach? Of course. Um, do you want to be losing by 25 when you have the best point guard in the country? No. Do you want to take out that anger on a 19-year-old kid? I say kid, I'm 19. But anyway, on a 19-year-old, um, no, that's not great. That's not a great look for the university. That's not a great look for the basketball program. Um, yeah, it's just bad. Um, anyway, moving on. How can UNM pull off a Mountain West Conference victory? This is something that has been nagging me for a fortnight. Not a fortnight, but for a while, for sure. There is something to be said that now with GCU upsetting San Diego State, we got our business done in Air Force. With Air Force, we swept them as per the usual. But I'm going to list out the two teams in front of us are Utah State and San Diego State. There are two teams, right? And this is Utah State's remaining schedule. They are number one and they lead UNM by 2 games, and they have the tiebreaker with the win on the road. Here we go. Utah State's remaining schedule at Nevada, at San Diego State, versus GCU, Grand Canyon, at UNLV, and versus UNM. They have UNM at home. Utah State, I was looking at their schedule. I can't pull it up at the moment because of my weird Wi-Fi travaganza, whatever. You know, I'm having issues. But they've had a lot of cupcakes, and they started off the Mountain West conference play with a lot of cupcakes. This is probably the hardest 5 games they will have in a row. So we'll see really what Utah State is made out of in these 5 games. If they lose 2 or 3, it opens up the door for UNM for sure. Because listen to this: San Diego State's remaining schedule, they have beaten UNM once, is at Colorado State versus Utah State. So they have Utah State at home. Then at New Mexico, at Boise, and versus UNLV. This one's a little bit easier than Utah State's. Of course, you have to go to the pit now. And that is going to be hard. Going at Boise State is not an easy game, not a cupcake game. UNLV is also a very good program. Colorado State themselves are a very good program. They are coming off of a loss at home to Grand Canyon, so there is a possibility. There is a possibility, and I'm going to spell it right here. UNM's remaining schedule: at Fresno, at Nevada, versus San Diego State. They get San Diego State at home. Versus Colorado State. They also get Colorado State at home. And then they go to Logan to play Utah State for the final game of the regular season. That game could possibly decide the Mountain West Conference title. The regular season title, that is. Because the reason I can see light for the New Mexico Lobos, where they can actually pull this off, is because Fresno. I feel like they will beat Fresno. They are a better team than Fresno. Nevada is a good team, but they match up and play Nevada well. I think they just the Steve Alford. New Mexico is Nevada is a great matchup for us. And then we get 2 home games back to back against 2 tough opponents. CSU it seems a little shaky, but San Diego State is legit, but they are beatable. It feels like and then Utah State, that really is what comes down to it. Because if they drop a game or 2 in that gauntlet that they have, it really could be up for grabs. The Mountain West is 1,000% up for grabs, and UNM, if they play their cards right, if they can win out, that would be great. But if they can win 4 out of these 5 games, with the exception of the Utah State game, and Utah State loses to, say, GCU, or loses to San Diego State, and we beat San Diego State, there is a possibility. There is a path. They lose to UNLV. There is a path for UNM. Utah State is not locked into that number 1 slot as of yet. But yeah, that's my take. I'm sticking to it. And yeah, let's rock and roll, baby. We're back.